Hello and welcome back to Calradia Expanded at War. And indeed, we are just about to be at war because we have just received a war declaration, or shall we say a vote on whether we should declare war against the Sturgians. And I'm gonna see exactly what's going on here. Alright, apparently everyone wants to go for it, 100%. No one opposes it at all, and I don't know why they would, because we have 9,200 plus combat strength, and the enemy has 3,600. So yeah, it's pretty likely we're going to end up winning a couple of battles and maybe expanding our territory somewhat. And this gives me a good opportunity to never mind. Apparently he already has 100 relation with me, so I don't even need to support him a great deal. I can just spend 20 influence, and I don't really have to care about it that much, because my charm skill is already fantastically high as it is, so I really don't have to worry about it at all. Anyway, we have made peace with the Battanians, if you didn't already guess, because obviously, you know, their war exhaustion was so high at the end of the previous episode that it really was very much inevitable that that was going to happen, but there you go. All right, we're going to now attack the Sturgians. Okay, so here's the thing. There's this small pocket of territory up to the northwest, or shall we say more westerly westerly direction from Revel, which is our fief, and indeed Danin Castle, which we obviously acquired in a previous episode as well. Varcheg is looking pretty nice, just north of there as well. So I'm thinking, hey, you know what? Shall we try and take Varcheg straight away, or should I go for one of the castles surrounding it? Because here's the thing, this small little pocket of territory is cut off from the rest of Sturgian territory. It makes all the sense in the world, in my opinion, to eliminate that first, because then they can't launch attacks against Danin Castle or against Revel, which are, of course, both our fiefs. So let's just take a brief look at them, and we'll see exactly what's going on there, because obviously we do have the castle very nearby Revel, and I'm thinking, if there's a decent amount of people in there, oh, okay, only 277. Alright, that's actually not even bad. I feel like 277 should be pretty easy for us to deal with. The only problem is if there is a large army in the area, then that's obviously going to be a bit of an issue. Now, you may have noticed something about my character. I have new armor. Yes, I have new armor on, and there's a reason for that. I managed to find Awa. Obviously, if you saw the previous episode, you know that we actually finalized the marriage with her and her family, and I couldn't find her for the life of me. I have no idea why I wasn't able to find her, but she was supposedly at Valuka, but she wasn't anywhere to be seen. So couldn't find her, but then I just basically gave up. And then today, when I booted up the game, I looked to see where she was, and she was at Tiram. And I went all the way over there, and she was in the castle. So that's great. And now we have her in our army. And then, well, where did I get the armor from, you ask? Well, I stole it. I stole it from her. Shall we? No, you know what? Let's put it a different way. I'm borrowing it, okay? I'm borrowing it, and it looks fantastic with my bracers, because my bracers are also shiny bronze, and this is also bronze, so it looks very good. It looks almost golden-like, you know, almost golden, and that's pretty good, you know? Nice and shiny for the archers to be able to see me from all the way in the castle walls and headshot me from miles away. Yeah, that sounds like a great plan. Anyway, there is a large army nearby as we begin the siege. Let's do this. Let's try and see if we can get the siege camp built before that army with almost 1,000 combat strength comes back. Bear in mind, Thomond is in the area as well. That could be advantageous for us if he's actually going to be useful this time. Because in one of the previous episodes, I was very much anticipating him defending Sargeth for us, and he decided that he would not do that. He literally just, he didn't do anything, you know. It was very, very disappointing, to say the least. But thankfully, he seems to be doing something rather actively at this point, and I'm very much hoping that he will take the nearby castle to Varcheg. Hopefully he will take the castle, and he can leave me Varcheg itself, because I would very much like to take that town. I think that would very much help our territory expansion, and it would help the rebel faction as well that we're currently a part of. Now, bear in mind as well, by the way, let me show you very briefly what's going on with... Wait a minute. What's actually going on with this? Why can't I see any... Why can't I see any of the factions? For some reason, I can't see any of the factions. Create faction? Wait a minute. Did they stop? Did they stop the rebellion? Oh, okay. It might be that they've stopped the rebellion against Earthart for some reason. I actually have no idea why that would be the case. We almost had enough to legitimize our claims and force him to abdicate or secede to someone else. And unfortunately, that doesn't appear to be the case now for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's during... No, it can't be during wartime, because that's how it's been the whole time. That's very strange. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what to say to that, because I was under the impression, now that another clan had joined, you know, we actually had 2 clans apart from my own on board for the whole, you know, forcing the guy to abdicate or secede or whatever it was. And yeah, I was very much looking forward to seeing how it would go, but unfortunately now we're not going to find out, because apparently that request, shall we say, or demand, depending on how aggressive you want to be, but yes, that request was now withdrawn by whoever it was that started it in the first place. So let's actually just get up here real fast. This is not going to go too well, as you can quite clearly tell. That guy just went up way before me and he just got murdered. Okay, yeah, that... I'm gonna just swiftly go down here real quick, and yeah, we're just gonna wait for, I suppose, the battering ram potentially to come over here. Drussabalda's getting a bunch of kills, which is nice to see. She's leveled up her bow skill to 225 too, which is always good. And hopefully the siege tower and the battering ram won't take too much longer to get here. Let me just speed things up a little bit. And there we go. Alright, the siege tower is in range. I'm not... Okay, so here's the thing. I usually don't show you a huge amount of siege tower gameplay because I am pretty awful with, you know, going up here and being useful on it. Because I usually get trapped in situations like this where I basically cannot move. I'm jam-packed in between all of my forces, and of course the enemy is now pushing us back, and this is making things very difficult for me to get anything done. I mean, we're not really able to do anything. There goes the shield. Someone's shield went flying away. That's great. They're not going to need it where they're going, that's for sure. Alright, let's take him down. Let's take him down. I mean, I say let's, but I'm not actually doing anything at the moment. I'm basically just standing here. Okay, there we go. Murder him. Okay, I did some damage. That was not spectacular, was it? Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I can do something here? Maybe I can... Oh, nice. Oh, that was a nice hit. If I do say so myself, that was actually a nice hit. Not bad. Because we got 412 damage on that guy's head with our polearm. Usually I would not use a polearm in this situation, but desperate times, desperate skills, and very low proficiency in one-handed. Yes, I mean, you know me. I love a good one-handed, you know? A good one-handed weapon can get the best situation out of a terrible, terrible place. But unfortunately, for some reason with this character, I'm just not doing very well with those. I really have no idea why. But anyway, maybe as I think someone mentioned actually in the comments that maybe it would be a good idea for me to just make a sword, you know, make a one-handed sword or something like that, so that it is exactly what I want. And maybe I can look for something that's a little bit lower on reach and much faster in terms of its handling and swing speed and things like that. I think that could be very, very useful. So I'm definitely considering it very strongly, actually. I think that could be very, very good. So I will try it once I have taken Sargeth, if I am able to take Sargeth, that is. Anyway, I'm going to put my improved garrison to 150 here, as we usually do. And they will train them to tier 3. That sounds pretty good. Okay, let's just rest here for a little bit of time, because I'm pretty sure that large army is still around here somewhere. Definitely don't want to run into that guy. Anyway, let's take a look. Gonna make my way... Oh, hello. Oh, no, Vildur is by himself. Okay, come on, let's get him. Yes. There we go. We got into a situation with him. Now, I could technically, if I want... Oh, you know what? Should I? Should I try? No. Okay, apparently he is not willing to accept any kind of coercion whatsoever. I was going to attempt to persuade him and maybe, you know, give him a little bit of cash in exchange for his loyalty, I guess. But he is currently happy with his liege, so I guess I will be murdering him with a nice little swift auto-resolve right there. And we'll let him go once again, because that's what we tend to do. We will let go most people, gain some relation. And as, oh yeah, someone rightfully mentioned, letting people go is actually really good, because on the one hand, it obviously gets you relation, which is one of the reasons, but the other reason is that they are then going to come back with a much lower tier army, and then you're going to be able to take them out again, and then that's going to contribute more and more and more to the enemy's war exhaustion, which is obviously fantastic, because that means that they're going to be forced into some kind of surrender, which is obviously great. So yeah, that's definitely a good point. Definitely a good point. Anyway, a rebel faction has emerged. Ah, yes. Okay, so there's the rebel faction that I was talking about. Are we actually going to be able to join this? Secession. Aha. Okay, so this guy actually wants secession. So as you can see here, right. So secession basically means that this guy, Ingaltha, is going to become the next leader of the faction, and there's going to be no vote whatsoever. As far as I'm aware, that's what secession means. And abdication is where the previous leader just steps down from the role, and then all of the lords and ladies of the realm make their votes, and whatever it's, you know, whatever that's going to be, that then, you know, whoever they vote for becomes the next leader. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go for abdication, and I am going to be leading the Bear-Tailed League. Apparently that's what it's called, the Bear-Tailed League. Okay, this is going to be kind of interesting. And I'm wondering whether anyone's going to join me. Let's see. So I'm not going to go for secession. I will go for abdication, because here's the thing. Even if I am not the person that they vote in, at least it will be better than just going to one random guy that, you know, demands that that be his. I much prefer a voting system in that respect. Anyway, let's take a look here. The Varcheg has 400... Oh dear. Yes, 446. And there is a castle over here as well, which might be okay for me to go and potentially attack as well, but then I am very badly leaving Varcheg all the way open for any other potential army to come in and do some damage to. So I'm actually going to try my best to get some things created here. I'm going to try and go for a siege tower. I'll try and go for a battering ram. I'm not holding out much hope here, however, because I'm pretty sure a large army is going to appear quite soon, and they're probably going to try and stop me if they know what's good for them, because if they don't, this is basically the beginning of the end for this portion of territory of the Sturgians. I don't think they're going to be able to take this back after I have taken it, if they still, you know, don't have any armies that are capable of taking it back instantly, because, let's face it, after this fight, after the capture of Varcheg, I am highly unlikely going to be able to go in here. Oh, hello there. Okay, that's a large army. Okay, here we go. I have 233, the enemy has 449. This is going to be a bit difficult. There is an army very close by with 502, and you can kind of tell if I mess up here, and if I take too much damage... Let me just take a quick look at the composition. Okay, the composition is not too bad. Okay, I only had enough time to build a siege tower as well. There's no battering ram this time, just one siege tower. This is pretty bad. If I had gotten the battering ram up and running first, I think that probably would have been better. But as long as I have one piece of siege equipment, I think that should be okay. Even though I am a little bit dubious about the whole situation without a battering ram. I personally feel like the battering ram is one of the best pieces you can make, and I think I made a mistake by not constructing that first. So we'll see how it goes. And hopefully my siege ladders will do a good job here. Oh, we are... Wow, this is really, really fast, actually. Okay, let's get up here. Okay, we are getting up here really, really quickly. This is great. Could I survive? Could I survive, please? Can you just get out the way, please, guys? I can't move because of this sconce here, or whatever it is. This torch of some kind, but there you go. Now we are able to push forward. Okay, fantastic. Oh, yes. You're running. Yes, you better run. I have a very large pole with a pointy thing on the end. Yes, that's it. Okay, I'm switching to my scythe. Oh, never mind. Okay, apparently I was going to switch to my scythe, but apparently these guys are just saying no, thank you. Okay, I'm going to try out my... every single time, I'm like, oh yeah, let me try out my scythe. Yeah, the scythe is actually a lot of fun to use because it is very short and very easy to use in sort of close quarter situations, but it does so little damage at the best of times. I mean, at the best of times it does do about 90 damage, which I think is pretty good. Look at that, 115. That's not bad, right? That's pretty nice. But if you think about it, and you think about how much damage the other polearm does, it literally does, what, 400, 300 or so? And this thing's doing like 100? Not the greatest, right? Yeah, not the greatest. But, I don't know. Can you really put a price on being able to actually use this weapon in close quarters combat, especially in duel situations too? Because you can see there, I just killed that horse raider without too many difficulties because the scythe is just so easily usable in these situations. It's kind of like a two-handed, you know what I mean? It's kind of like a two-handed weapon in comparison to being a polearm. But it utilizes our polearm skill, which is obviously great. Oh, there's our wife. Okay, come on. Kill them all, thank you. Oh, we killed a sheriff. Oh dear. He's gonna put a bounty on our heads or something along those lines. Oh no. Alright, well, we are losing a lot of units right here. I think I might have to switch to my shield. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, I can 100% see why that is indeed the case, why we are losing so many people. We are running into a literal storm of arrows being shot at us right now. And I'm not going to be able to issue any additional orders, which is actually bad, because I would have loved to have told my people to charge in now, but it seems like I should have achieved victory without too many difficulties here. I think so. Yeah, that seems to be the case. Okay, we lost 21 units only, which I got to say is an absolute miracle. I never thought that I would be able to take such an such an overwhelmingly strong defensive effort with so little issues. We lost 21 units, and 15 of those were Valandian sergeants, which is obviously pretty bad, because they are, well, they're the highest tier infantry we have, but yeah, okay, we'll just do the auto-resolve to get these guys done. This guy is part of Vilda's clan, which is absolutely fine, and we'll just take the remaining prisoners, and then we will go and sell them as soon as possible. Alright, let's claim it. Yes, claim the fief, thank you very much. 17,000 from selling our prisoners as well. 17,000, wow. That is a pretty significant number. And we'll sell all of our loot as well. A grand total of selling the armor and the thrown weapons and shields for 66,000. Pretty crazy. And I am now going to be sorting out my my town management. So I'll put a little bit of money in the reserves just to increase my construction speed. And then we'll just improve the remaining little things here, like the siege workshop and the granary and things like that. And then we'll go into improved garrison and take a look at that. So what did we just take? Yes, my memory is great. Okay, Varcheg. Yes, we took Varcheg. Let me see. I'm going to put 250 in there. I think I'll put 250 troops in there, and we'll train them up to tier 4 if necessary. And there we go. Alright, so let's take a look and see what happens, because I'm wholeheartedly assuming that that army nearby will come after us. They don't appear to be doing that at the moment, which is very strange. They have just turned around and gone the other direction. I have no idea why they decided to do that. But I can only hope that they're not going to try and take Revel. But if they do try to take Revel, that's actually not even that bad, because Thomond and Vartin are both over there with their armies, which is great. And they have... Oh, Vartin is having some problems. I think he might be losing, actually. He's engaging Ragnvad's army, and that is, of course, the leader of the Sturgians. I don't know how he's doing, Mr. Ragnvad, that is. But Vartin does appear to be losing a lot of people. So it might very well be that his army is going to be destroyed very, very soon. Is it? Yep. No? No! They actually survived! They survived by the skin of their teeth! Wow, that was actually incredible. I was wholeheartedly, really very much assuming that they would be defeated. With the way that it was looking, their forces were dwindling extremely quickly, and then they just managed to pull off a victory. I don't know whether that was because Thomond's army appeared to help them out, or whatever may be the case, but they have survived so narrowly. And now Thomond seems to be doing a siege at Omor, and Durthart has appeared with his army, and he is attempting to take a castle. Okay. That is not even bad. That's pretty good. And my castle, my last castle that I could potentially take, is now over here. Zhemyan. Zhemyan Castle. Let's take a look. 227. Alright, 227. I will be doing a siege here as well. Let's make sure that we get the battering ram done this time. I personally feel like the battering ram is the most useful piece of siege equipment, because even though siege towers are good, don't get me wrong, sometimes the friendly AI can get a little bit stuck on them, and that's obviously not something that I would terribly like to have happen. Anyway, we now have a vote on our hands for the new castle that Durthart just took. It's between me, Mr. Berrican, and Mr. Ospier. And I'm not entirely sure who to give this to be honest. I personally would like to take it myself, because this castle is basically in the middle of my territory of the amount of fiefs that I have. So I'm actually going to vote for myself. There we go. Yes, and I have support from some other people in the faction as well, so that obviously made things a little bit easier, didn't it? Yes, a little bit easier. And otherwise, I'm actually just going to take a quick look. Oh, I leveled up. Fantastic. Okay, I actually leveled up. I did not realize. And we now have one attribute point and one focus point to spend, and we also have a perk point in leadership. So let's just take a quick look here. Increase party size by +5 for each town you control, and heroes generate shared experience. Could be quite useful. And apart from that, increase security in a town per day while waiting. And remove morale penalty for recruiting prisoners of your faction. Okay, personally I don't care about the morale penalty for recruiting prisoners. I never usually do that anyway. And the +5 security, if that was something I was concerned with, I would definitely take this. But as it stands, I'm going to take Leader of the Masses, which increases my party size, and heroes generate shared experience. I think that sounds so much better. And we're going to go for Steward Skill, I believe, because Steward Skill does increase your main party size, as you can see right here. Well, that's only if you're a Quartermaster. But I think because I don't have anyone currently assigned to the Quartermaster duty, it is probably me that is doing that. So I'm going to put a focus point in Steward, and then I'm going to be putting another point in Endurance. And that's going to hopefully help increase our smithing a little bit as well. I'd like to get to 225 smithing. So the next time I level up, I will be putting a focus point in smithing. I think I might have said this multiple times now, but if I have, then I apologize. But generally, sometimes my opinion changes from episode to episode, and sometimes I think, oh yes, I definitely need to go for smithing, because that's going to give me another point in endurance, and so on. And then I think, oh, well, maybe I want to go for some more party size, because I feel like maybe my party size is not enough at the moment. Because what's actually my maximum? My maximum company size at the moment is 259. That's pretty good, you know? That's not bad, but I would like a little bit more than that. So I'm thinking some more steward skill could be quite useful there. Anyway, it seems like we've already completed the construction of the battering ram. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go whole hog here, I suppose. And I'm going to try and build a siege tower as well. And we're going to see how effective this actually is, because it's been a long time since I've done a siege and have had both pieces of siege equipment available. Alright, so our forces are now climbing the walls in their respective siege towers. We have 2 of them on either side, and why are they all running away right here? Okay, apparently we're being repelled so easily from this particular siege tower that my forces are literally falling from the top of the siege tower, and they are not very pleased about that. I can imagine that they wouldn't be. Anyway, the central gate has now been destroyed, so we don't even need to worry really about utilizing that, but I'm going to try and... can I murder this guy? No, never mind. Doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to get my polearm in the murder hole, as they call it. And maybe I can get a little bit more athletic skill. Yes, 149. Can I get 150? Yes, there's 150. Thank you. Oh yeah, also, someone told me that you can literally drop weapons, okay? So now, obviously I knew this, but I never thought to myself, hey, maybe what I should do is I should drop weapons while I'm attempting to chase after enemies to catch them just that much quicker, because if you drop... You know, if you drop things, for example, there you go, drop my scythe right there. And if I were to drop my shield and my sword, and then I just have this, I'm going to be able to run much quicker as a result of that. Obviously, you've got to bear in mind that, unfortunately, I am very, very heavily armored. So generally, because I have such a heavy piece of armor on, it really is making things very difficult in terms of movement. And I would say that if I wanted to move quickly, which obviously I do, but sometimes it's just much easier to be well armored, and especially considering I'm not really playing that fast a character, you know, I don't have a huge amount of athletic skill or anything like that. So generally it is, in my opinion at least, much better right now to maintain a decent amount of protection value. And there you go, we were able to achieve victory there without too many difficulties. I'm going to be claiming the castle once again. These areas around Sturgian territory and sort of like the, shall we say, northwestern portion of Battanian territory and northeastern portion of Landian territory, those kinds of places, they're kind of my, my sort of thing. So I'm going to try and maintain a decent amount of control on them if I can. And we're going to get another 150 troops if I can actually work this slider appropriately. There we go. So there's another 150 troops. Let's put another 10,000 in the reserves, and we'll just add a bunch of extra construction things to be done. And then we should be pretty good. How's the loyalty doing? Oh, the loyalty is absolutely fine by the looks of things, so pretty happy with that. And let's head on back to Varcheg and see what's going on there. Seems like the Sturgians are being completely devastated right now by every single kind of army, and Varcheg... What? This guy was attempting to besiege Varcheg with 90 units. Is he serious right now? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna just auto-resolve against this guy. There really is no reason for me to not do that. So there you go. Murdered. Thank you. We'll let him go, I suppose. I don't really know which clan he's from, but I kind of wanted to get it over with so that we can go into the tavern and rest up a little bit, get our forces, you know, all ready for a next possible attack. Because no doubt it's coming very soon, I would assume. Anyway, let's just sell the loot. Another 25,000. We almost have 1,000,000 gold, if you can believe that. Yes, 1,000,000 gold. Pretty crazy, considering I haven't really been doing a huge amount of money making. I've basically just been... well, just walking around, killing as many vassals as I can, defeating them, and so on, and stealing their, well, stealing their clothes and selling it. I mean, not very glorious, is it? No, not very glorious, but it is an honest day's work. Can I say that? Can I say it's an honest day's work? Not really. Oh, look at this. Yes, look at that. They want to offer me 6,000 gold in ransom if we will free Mr. Ragenvad. I personally don't really care about keeping Ragenvad because it's only just going to make it easier for us to defeat him faster. But you got to bear in mind that if he is on the battlefield, he's going to be the one that will lead one of the larger army sizes. So it's more a case of, do we just want to pound him into the dirt even more than he already is? I guess so, right? Okay, yeah, let's just do it. Why not? Now, I am going to need to go back to Vlandian territory, unfortunately, because I only have 194 units, and as I already said, I have a maximum company size of 259, so we are really needing to sort of expand our army size a little bit. I'm kind of surprised, actually, that the Vlandians have not really done anything. They currently have Omor under siege. Actually, they don't. They're not the ones besieging Omor. It is someone else. I don't know who it is. Oh, it's Battania. Battania is besieging Omor at the moment, which is pretty bad, because Omor is a town, and obviously we would like to maintain control over the towns as much as possible. But I suppose it's not that big a deal, because if, you know, Battania declares war against us at some point, we'll just take it back from them. But yeah, anyway, there's an overview of the map. It seems like the rebels have taken over Baltakand, which is pretty bad for Mr. Ragenvad, because he was the owner of that, and now the rebels have taken that over completely, and they are not part of any faction at all. And Baltakand is one of those towns up in the northeast of Calradia itself. Usually a Khuzait fief, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, I believe the Sturgians will probably be the first faction eliminated. The Aserai are absolute monsters at the moment. They have been basically untouched, and they are also increasing their, shall we say, their influence very slowly, but very surely, you know? They seem very secure in the knowledge that they know that they're very, very strong right now. So, yeah, apart from that, I think we're doing pretty nicely ourselves. I've been able to increase my own territory by 3 fiefs in this one episode alone, and hopefully we'll be able to continue along that vein in the next ones. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.